Is it just me, or is it really easy to suck at games these days? I have gone through a plethora of different auto battlers and card games trying to find something to keep me occupied while we wait for the final release of the Bazaar. I haven't really found anything that has captured me long enough. I played Hearthstone Battlegrounds for a long ass time. That game got boring. Real boring. I played Dota Underlords. I'm a Dota boy. They discontinued that game. I enjoy Gwent. I love The Witcher. They discontinued that one. Let me see. I've played SAP, Super Auto Pets. That kind of gets old pretty quick. I played Storybook Brawl. That was lacking. I played Yijian the Cultivation. That one's been the best one so far, but even that one struggled to keep me going. I am missing what I once had. And what I once had is from Auto Chess, the original, the Dota arcade game Auto Chess. That was incredibly fun. And recently-ish, we did have the Ability Arena arcade game, which was very similar and definitely kept me for a while, but slow updates, and it's still just an arcade game, and it's not giving me that full competitive experience. I know, it was really fun for a little while, but it couldn't keep me. So what's next? Well, there is a bit of an elephant in the room. There is one major player that I have not touched, but that's been for good reason. That has been for good reason, let me tell you. And that's TFT, Teamfight Tactics. The biggest, arguably, player in the auto battle world. And me, the owner of a basically auto battle channel, hasn't played it. Well, until now. I took on the rather Herculean task, because that's what it is, of picking up a game of which I know very little of the lore. I played very, very recently a few games of League of Legends with some friends, and I watched Arcane. There is a lot of lore out there, let me tell you. There are entire channels, as I have found out, dedicated to the lore of League of Legends, and you're supposed to just immediately know the difference between those small little pixels running around in circles to pick them. I'm getting ahead of myself. It was a Herculean task to pick up the lore side of things. That is still difficult, but I thought, okay, I'm an auto battler player. I should be able to understand the mechanics enough to get me through those early teething stages, as I have done with every other game I've played so far. However, this changes the formula enough in some small ways and relies heavily on your League of Legends knowledge to get you through those little teething problems. There are so many beginner's guides out there that I tried, and they just didn't give the right information. They assumed that you would play League of Legends for 3,000 hours and you were coming into it as your first auto battler. And that's fair enough, that's good for some people. But that's not a true beginner's guide. That is a sort of transferring guide from, I've played this game, now I'm going to play this other game by the same people that use the exact same heroes, the exact same items, the same terminology. It was tricky. Now, I played TFT very, very briefly when it first came out. And when I say very briefly, I literally mean like 2 games. And I quit. I just couldn't compete. There was too much going on. I didn't know what was happening. And this was right off the back of me playing auto chess for a long, long time. I understood the core mechanics, but I couldn't grasp the game. Not enough to make a decent start at it. And that just killed it for me. It was absolutely intolerable to try and push on. Now, since then I've played a little bit of League, just barely enough to think I know what's going on. This isn't really covered in any of those beginner guides. They're not really going to be helping you here. I had to work through my small knowledge of League, a fuck ton, and I mean a fuck ton, of research and digging into what certain things mean and different terminologies, and I watched some of those aforementioned lore videos, and lo and behold, it fucking helped. All of that work allowed me to come back to the game. I did this before I started playing again, and I've won, and by won I mean come first, in half of my games so far, and come top 4 in all of them. This game isn't actually that hard. The barrier to entry is just a really, really, really tall gate. But if you've got the key, You can get in, and you're not going to be coming up with the best Grandmaster strategies day one. But I think I figured out a way to know enough about the game going in that your brain isn't fried and frazzled with all the 1,000,001 tips that other beginner guides are giving you, to win those first few games, or at least play well and enjoy your time, while slowly learning what everything means and everything does. I genuinely think that's the best way to approach these games, and I have made beginner guides in the past that have been hugely successful, and most of the comments are people saying, wow, this is an actual beginner's guide, I can't believe it, I actually know how to play this game now. So, as you might have read into what's going on here, the next video on the channel, if you're watching this as it releases, or it's already on the channel if you're watching this in the future, should be a beginner's guide to TFT, and it will be good. It will be a guide for people who want to learn the game. Now, if you come from League, then that doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't watch it, because there will be Auto Battler beginner guide tips in there. And if you come from Auto Battlers, like the majority of my audience, there will be League specific tips in there. There will be bits that neither party know. There may even be tips in there that people who play TFT already just didn't quite clue on to. And I'm going to support it, I hope, don't hold me to this one, with a bunch of other content on the channel. So keep your eye out for more information and more content coming soon. I will see you in the Rift. Is that what they call it these days? I don't know. Just go watch the other video.